So you'll see from these key support levels here, in addition to my wave count, I was able to time a perfect entry at this point. Price breaks above this level, responding perfectly off of our trend, starts moving up into our take profit zone. We're already up over $1,200. We were able to close out this one trade for over $1,200, and this happened in about 45 minutes. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my live crypto trading, showing you my complete process, my trades, entries and exits, all the tools and indicators I use to find these, as well as real profits and losses. So you can basically watch and learn from my strategies. Okay, I've been day trading for almost 8 years now, and I've been showcasing my development on YouTube for about 5. And I've now taught thousands of members who are on our private trading team exactly how to trade this. And now they're also making bank. But still, one of the most helpful learning aids and the most requested topic is live trading. So that's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in today's video. Okay, I'm going to be covering various trades that I've taken over the past week to show you exactly how I'm finding and executing these trades in real time so you can learn and improve your own trading. All right, so there's a bunch of ways that you can go about trading the financial markets, but the one I'm going to be covering examples of today is the one that I've used to be able to make 33 trades in a row now. And with pretty conservative risk, I've been able to over double my account, now nearing $40,000 in trading profits over the past several months. Okay, also, if you find value in this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along when I drop these videos. Moving into the future, we're moving into different asset classes and different styles of trading. And I'm going to be documenting and sharing this progress with you guys along the way. Okay, my biggest goal is to be able to add clarity in the retail trading space where people are quite literally being able to replace their income and make amazing gains trading from basically anywhere they want in the world. So if you want to be part of that process and follow along, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you know when I drop videos. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways to trade the financial markets, but the first trade that I want to showcase here is this trade that I found on Solana. All right, so this is on a 1 minute time frame. So it's a fairly fast pace. Okay, you can see this is at about 10:30 in the morning. Now, normally I'm waiting for this gray zone to completely end. This is the time when New York session is the most volatile, but there's analysis that I'll show you guys here in a quick second that I saw that made me comfortable with taking the trade early, where basically my overall trade idea was to play into this sort of push up in the markets. First thing that I saw is that we were trending down here. Then we started to move up in this direction, and I noticed that there was a significant amount of support right along here. So notice how the price bounced off of that. It rode previously above these levels. So I thought that there would be a good opportunity into these fair value gaps here that also aligned with my first dip buy in case this entry that you can see I took right here continued to move down. They would end up getting some sort of bounce off of this point and have a continuation. Okay, so the way that I trade these is by adding my initial entry here, and then I buy into dips if the price continues to move down and have my risk contained to underneath this lower level here in case the trend fully rejects. Okay, so you can see right here, I'm setting up my risk profile. I've already entered the position. All right, and so the reason that I thought this would continue moving higher is because I was looking on a 4-hour time frame at the wave structure on Bitcoin. Considering I'm trading Solana, Bitcoin is going to sort of guide the general direction. And as I scrolled out here, you'll notice that we had this trend line being contacted multiple times, which led me to believe that we would get the price to push up and react off of that longer term trend line, which over the session would lead the price a little bit higher and allow me on a smaller time frame to be able to capture that push into the session. You can see I'm marking out my levels here and then hoping to play a reversal later into the session. All right, so you can see my secondary orders are getting filled over here. All right, and so once again, I'm doing analysis here on a 1-hour time frame on this current trend and looking to see where we are in an overall Elliott wave structure, which is counting a 5-wave structure. Okay, so the price continues to move down now, counter trend. Now, the reason I was okay with taking this trade, and something that I always do when I set these trades up, is anytime I get a break of trend, you'll see that I drew a circle here anticipating that we would get a bounce point off of here. Second dip by level filled. Then price started to change direction and move up towards my take profit. Considering I'm dip buying into this trend, now I had my take profit down a little bit lower, just sort of walking it down to be able to exit the position. See, I'm up about $920 now. Still have stop loss underneath this low. All right, continues to push up into this zone that we see. We're up $1,285. All right, so after all was said and done, we closed this trade out for $836. And you'll see over here, I'm journaling in all of the information now that I took on this trade, as well as dragging my screenshot in on my journal. That way I can flip tabs over into my gallery view and I can see snapshots of all of the trades that I've taken. Price really starts to reverse now, and that was me locking in the first trade of the day. So anytime I'm setting up trading sessions, the first thing that I want to do is somewhat figure out where we are in the current trends, right? So you saw me go out to a 4-hour time frame and saw that we were currently in this sort of overall uptrend right here. All right, then I sort of walk my way down into smaller time frames, and you'll see overall this support level showed to be very, very important, which is why I was somewhat confident that we would at least get some sort of bounce off this zone and move up enough for me to be able to exit out of the trade. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing is I'm adding this indicator called the IT Foundation indicator. This is going to show us where our New York stock market session opens in gray. And you'll see this is sort of where the market tends to pick up in volatility and sort of sway largely in one direction. And what I want to do is sort of wait for the overall direction of the market and then trade in that direction. So typically I'm waiting till the end of this session to wait for some sort of direction to be picked. And that's what I'm going to follow for the trend. In this situation here, I knew we made contact off of the lower support level right here. I also knew that if I drew a trend line support level off of these two highs, we had an exact perfect intersection point. Now testing the overside of this previous resistance, it was broken above. I call it an overside underside retest, which is going to give us a bounce. So the next thing that I did was used a custom Fibonacci tool from this high point down to this most recent low right here. Okay, and that's going to give me my entry, my dip by 1, dip by 2, and my stop loss, right? So you can see the price wicked down into the entry zone and had responses off of all of these levels. But notice how I was accounting for the fact that if we broke down through all of these levels and didn't have an immediate continuation up to our 1.272 initial take profit up into this sort of area right here, that I knew the price would come fill my secondary dip buy level and most likely be able to get a bounce off of this trend line, even if it was for the short term before breaking down under and changing trend direction completely. And so the way that I'll enter a position like this is I'll look at these price points here. So first I would click on a long, considering we're moving in the up direction. And then all I did was basically go put in my initial entry at 155.69, take profit at 157.68, and my stop loss 153.66, limit 1 at 157 point this, and limit 2 at this 154.33. Hit enter, and you'll notice now I have all of my quantities that I need to add at each individual level. So that's what I put into Bybit, and it will adjust all of my new take profit levels as I add into this position, which will then automatically adjust my take profits. So if my original entry price is right here, and then we have a move down and we fill the secondary dip buy level. Now based on this calculator, it basically moves my take profit somewhere down here. If my secondary dip buy level gets filled, I only need a slight correction in price to be able to exit out of this position. That's exactly what happened here. And this is how I'm able to achieve such a high win rate. So this is the journal that I designed for myself. I also share this with you guys so you can basically input any trading strategy that you want to input in here. You can set up different rules for yourself throughout the session and be able to track and journal your trades. And the reason this is important is because I'll sit in sessions to practice these types of concepts and see if I can hit 13, 14, 15 trades in a row. Over 100 trades, typically I'm only losing say 4 or 5 individual trades. So I know that my win rate can be say 93%, say I lose 7 out of 100. Even if I'm starting with $500 and I'm risking say a significant amount of my account and we go over 100 trades, our average risk reward is that. You can see even if I'm risking 91% over 100 trades, I know that even if I'm starting with say $500, I can start making several $1,000s. Okay, so this is why we have students who are learning the next levels of this using more advanced concepts are able to make 100% in 6 days and doing things like turning $1,700 into $10,000 over 3 months. So if you guys want access to the trade calculator to be able to start working on this yourself, I do offer a public version to you guys where the risk is a little bit smaller, so 10%, just to have proof of concept. But the stuff we're diving into on the private side of our trading team goes far past this and allows you to learn things to scale faster and be able to really truly learn that. But I wanted to actually provide value to you guys on YouTube instead of just only marketing myself. So if you want those resources, go in the description of the video. My Instagram's there. Just follow me and DM me the word tools, and I'll send you over this entire notion of all of our trade tools. All right, so the next trade that I took here was on AVAX. So at this point, our New York session was all wrapped up and we had this current downtrend. Once again, the price sort of broke out of that and then broke out of these 2 consecutive highs here. And what I did notice is we had a potential beginning of a 5-wave structure here. So I saw my 1, 2 push up into 3. If it was going to continue this trend, it wouldn't be able to really break underneath this high level of 1 here, which would create a support level off of here. So I also noticed that I had all of my moving averages lined together. So I had a 20, a 50, and a 200 day that is part of this trade foundation indicator, which is going to show you all green trend lines when the market's moving in one direction, and then the other direction when we have all red trend lines. So you'll notice all red over here, price continues to move down. Then I was looking sort of on top of that thesis, would we have more support on this chart? So I noticed that the price was sort of sticking really closely along this price. We broke through it, ended up testing it on the underside, broke above it, tested it again, came underneath it, came up, resisted off of it, bounced, and then finally was able to break up through it. So I knew on the way back down, if we were to reach this right into our moving average, this would most likely be a heavy area of support where this price would then want to flip around and continue to make a high. So I took that Fibonacci again from this high down to this low level here, and you'll see price actually perfectly went up beautifully and just tapped us out of this full take profit zone here before having sort of a sell-off and chopping sideways. Okay, so if we look at this trade in real time, you can see I'm noticing these key areas over here, and so I'm starting to mark out my zones. You can see I have all my moving averages moving in one direction. This trade ended up chopping around sideways for quite some time, which is a bit annoying. You can see this is where I was anticipating for the price to continue to make a move higher. All right, so we're chopping around sideways. Then you can see price comes down and finally fills out my position. So now I'm in the trade currently, and we do get a perfect, beautiful bounce off of that level. You can see our highs are broken here. We're up over $900. Price is continuing to make a push higher and higher. We're up $1,300, and we close out our trade perfectly right on this take profit zone before the price starts to turn around and chop in the other direction. So this third trade was a little bit later in the evening, around 9 o'clock. I saw a potential range here, again, sort of support along this high level of our one move. So I once again set up the fibs for a dip buy along this overall trend. Was hoping to get sort of a play up continuation. Okay, so you can see we got filled right at that point. Price immediately starts to move down. Now this trade was a little bit interesting because I was very close to doing something called an L1 bomb, where basically I would try to take the original take profit even after we got our dip buy level here. Okay, so price comes down, fills our second dip buy level and starts to reverse up. Okay, and then you'll see off of this resistance zone, this is where the price starts to make a massive move to the upside. So we break out of that zone, we get a big push up in our candle, and we close out this trade for a $1,630 win, which brought me up over $3,700 for the day. All right, so I tend to be a little bit more conservative when I'm taking these types of trades, considering I'm using a decent chunk of money. But the reason I love this style of trading is there's so many individual trade opportunities in a single day. So if we just play our replay, for example, I'll just walk you through my mindset of a few of these trades. We have our trend break here, push up, we draw our fib level here, we're long inside this point, full profit achieved right here. All right, so off of this drop again, I can draw the same fib from the swing high low, long into here. We're able to exit out right here for our second full win. All right, so we have a fresh high broken from here to here. Dip buy in here, full profit here, +1 again. All right, so we have the price break up highs here. Okay, we have our secondary dip buy level here, full profit here, break in trend right here, and we would still be currently in this trade. I don't think I would necessarily take this trade considering how sharp this downtrend is. If this were to break down our trend, this would fall pretty quickly, so I probably wouldn't even take this trade. But just to show you, we were able to take 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in one single trading session, which can basically add up to one full risk factor. So any trade that you take after that is going to basically already account for a loss. So all of that is just basically going to be profit over on the top. So for this particular trading session, I was able to make $836, $1,273, and $1,630 for a total of $3,739 after all of the trading fees were paid. Hey, if you're interested in learning more about this and watching more examples, I have tons of videos where I do this. I'll put them in a card right here. You can add it to your playlist. Okay, make sure you check out the free Discord. There's tons of resources. Once again, in the description of the video, there's my Instagram. Make sure you follow me and DM me the word tools, and I'll have all of these trade resources sent automatically over to you so that you can throw them onto your trading view, follow along, and get the proof of concept. All right, if you want to take your trading to the next level, you can join our private team. The whole goal with that is for basically you guys to very quickly be able to make the education feedback. We put a lot of resources into having developers, having researchers, having a community. You should be able to get a return fairly quickly, and you get to keep those skills forever. All right, so if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like trading and investing. I do these videos every 2 weeks, okay, sort of showing my trading session, win or lose. Let me know how you like the video in the comments. Check out these videos if you want to watch more. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video.